Genshin is changing faster than you think. With the kit changes to the Arcane members, characters like Venti have become the strongest Anemo DPS, and Klee is now comparable to Arlecchino. Yes, you heard that right. This shows how the meta is shifting, and today we'll be breaking down every possible team for the Arcane members after the kit changes, and whether they're worth pulling in the end. Starting with Venti, he is currently the best Anemo DPS, surpassing both Xiao and Wanderer. His teams like Venti, Durin, Farina, and Farazan are performing better than both Xiao and Wanderer's best teams. Even his F2P team, Venti, Mona, Bennett, and Farazan, is insanely strong. Unlike Wanderer and Xiao, the 5% damage bonus, Anemo infusion after burst, and increased burst duration all synergize perfectly with Mona's Omen buff, making these teams even stronger. Currently, Venti is flexible enough to fit an insane number of teams as a main DPS. Talking about main DPS, I saw a lot of comments asking how to build him. For weapons, the new signature bow is his best in slot, followed by Skyward Harp, Polar Scar, and Thundering Pulse. For 4-star weapons, the Stringless and the new 4-star bow coming in version 6.2 are among his best options. For artifact sets, there's currently no perfect set that maximizes his full kit, but you can use a 4-piece Gilded Dreams or a 2-piece Noblesse and Viridefin Venerer. And if you're following leaks, we're expected to get a dedicated set for the Arcane members soon, so keep an eye out for that. Before we go further, you can actually win a free Welkin. We're doing a 10x Welkin giveaway for 7,000 subscribers. More info is in the description. And don't forget to check out Loot Bar. They're currently the safest and cheapest way to top up, and are running a special discount right now. Just click my link in the description, select your server, enter your UID, and your Genesis crystals are delivered instantly. Loot Bar is trusted by hundreds of thousands of players worldwide, and new users even get an extra 10% coupon on their first purchase.
Now, coming back to the topic, with Venti, units like Klee also got some insane buffs. As we all know, you can now get her constellations just by logging in daily, meaning you'll eventually get her C2 or C3 over time, which makes her even more broken. Currently, C2 Klee teams are on par with Arlecchino's teams, making Klee one of the strongest pyro units. And the restriction of being an Arcane member is not really a restriction anymore. She has tons of options. Her Overload teams can be structured around Fischl and Durin, and she can also work in reaction-focused teams with Venti and Sucrose. Her double Geo setups are also insanely strong. With this many team options and future synergy with characters like Alice, her value is immense, making her one of the best units in the Chronicle banners, especially since you can get her free constellations over time, which only make her stronger until Alice and Nicole arrive. Klee can be one of the most difficult characters to play in the entire game, with all her complex combos and playstyle, but her kit changes make her much smoother. After she performs her skill, burst, or normal attack, she gains a stack of Boom Booster. Each stack lasts for 20 seconds and has its own independent timer. While Klee has 1, 2, or 3 stacks, her Explosive Spark enhanced charged attacks deal 115, 130, and 150% of their original damage. Her normal attack sequence has also been fixed, which was the worst part of her kit. She's now one of the best pyro carries and can even be used alongside Durin and Emily in burning teams. We'll get to her pull value in the end. Now coming to Albedo, another unit whose constellations are free to obtain. His kit changes include a 30% damage bonus to your DPS, which increases his value significantly. He also got multiple constellation changes, which aren't massive but still provide some extra damage. Albedo can be another great pick, especially if you enjoy mono-geo or dual-geo setups with characters like Mavuika, Arlecchino, and Navia. The only downside for him is that unlike Venti and Klee, his teams are restricted mostly to geo setups, and his personal damage is still quite low. He's mostly dependent on Durin to unlock the Arcane stage, since his synergy apart from Durin isn't that great with other Arcane members. This makes his value slightly lower overall.
So, as we've discussed all 3 units, let's understand whether you need to pull them or if it's better to wait for the new characters. The first point that makes them better is their future potential. As we all know, we're likely to get a new artifact set for the Arcane members, which means their value will only increase with time. We also can't forget that we'll be getting 3 limited 5 stars, all expected to be Arcane members, which will make these teams even stronger and future-proof. The second big point is free constellations. Characters like Klee get way better with C1 and C2, offering multiple team archetypes, burning, pyro-crystallize, and setups alongside Durin, and hopefully Alice in the future. Her value is even higher than someone like Arlecchino, since she's not just an arcane buffer, but also a strong DPS. So, if you're pulling or already have any of these, Klee, Venti, or Albedo, should you invest in them? If you ask me, yes, absolutely. If you already have them, you should definitely invest time into building these units, because they're no longer as weak as they were before this patch. But is it worth pulling for them now? Unlike Klee and Albedo, you don't get free constellations for Venti, which lowers his value, even though he's currently the strongest unit among the old ones at C0. However, looking at the future, Venti's value will likely drop later on, as you can eventually get Klee C2 or even Varka, who can replace him as a DPS option. Still, he will remain an amazing support for Varka teams with all his buffs and as a VV set holder. Talking about Klee, she's my #1 pick out of these 3 units. Not only does she have the most team options and synergy with other Arcane members, but her kit also allows her to function both as a main carry and as a pyro applicator. Plus, her free constellations will make her stronger over time, eventually surpassing Venti in long-term value. Still, if you're a new player, I wouldn't recommend going for the Chronicle banner to get any of these. I don't think they'll make a huge difference for future teams, as you can already build strong setups with current units. But if you're a veteran with multiple teams and a good understanding of the game, these characters are worth revisiting, since they can make your old units viable again in the current meta. So I hope I made that clear, and that it helped you decide which unit to focus on. And don't forget to participate in the giveaway. More info is in the description.